your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
I'm sure many of you saw the video from Wednesday night, the Dodgers and the White Sox, where the Dodger bat boy
made a heck of a play.
He just did his best Jeff Haxton, didn't he? You know, and saved Shohei Ohtani from getting hit in the face with the ball. The bat boy's name is Javier Herrera. You want to take a wild guess at how old Javier Herrera is? He
looked like he was in his 20s at least.
He's 38.
Okay.
He's been with the Dodgers as a bat boy for 20 years.
Cool, I guess.
I mean,
probably he's well.
At what point is he no longer a bat boy and becomes Batman?
I don't. Yeah. That's very good. You know, that was awesome.
He's probably well compensated for it, probably.
I would think so, right?
Yeah.
I would think so. I mean, he probably one of those things where he started at 18 and then that probably gets along well with the players, probably fits in well, probably does more things than just goes and gets their bats, right?
Probably so. You
know, probably one of those guys that's good to have, good in the clubhouse guy.
Sure.
You know, that they go, hey, it's worth having him with us. But yeah, I mean, the thing that was wild about it was just how he just put his hands up there, caught it, and then acted like nothing had happened. Just, you know, hands the ball to somebody else, and Ohtani's like looking at him like, whoa. And then Ohtani's interpreter has got his mouth wide open.
Just Ohtani's interpreter. So I would have not bet that he would have made that catch.
Yeah. Right. That's right. I would have not bet that I would have made that catch.
Jamie, apologize to Chuck. You've derailed him now.
No,
he's all stuck on your joke, and he can't. No. He's stuck in a loop.
I'm not stuck in a loop.
It's one of the very first times Chuck has ever got one of my jokes. So apparently it was a good one. It was better than I do normally.
No, I just maybe I had my listening ears turned up extra loud.
Maybe.
You know, there's that. Man, a scary situation for former Cowboy wide receiver Randall Cobb. He and his family are lucky to be alive. Apparently, their house caught on fire in Nashville.
No.
He had, according to the article I read in the Dallas Morning News, he had a Tesla, and the Tesla battery caught on fire in the garage, and they all got out safely, his wife, their 3 sons, and then he went back in and got the family dog, which is, you know, I'm sure that, you know, the firefighters and first responders would tell you, hey, your life's not worth a dog, but I get it, I understand. He said, we got out. Cobb's wife said, we're lucky to be alive. The Tesla Charger caught on fire in the garage, spread quickly. We got out with nothing but the clothes on our back and no shoes on our feet. But here's the quote that just kind of just made me go, man, this guy is grateful. He said, among the things, I can't get the image of the brave firefighter getting into position out of my head. He didn't even have water to shoot yet. I truly thought the cars were going to explode and that we would lose him in the tragedy. He is a true hero.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
You know, he said, unfortunately, we don't know much. If anything will be salvageable, but this has been a reminder that nothing is more important than the health of our family. Cobb played last year for the New York Jets, and he is currently a free agent. So he was a player for the Cowboys, and then was with Mike McCarthy for 8 seasons with the Packers, and he was part of that Super Bowl team that won his rookie year. So don't know what his status is, if maybe his shelf life is over as a baseball player, as a wide receiver or not. So at any rate, but he's, like he said, lucky to be alive. So good for whomever discovered it and got everybody up and got everybody out. I don't know what to make of this NFL story and it's sometimes these things bore me, these lawsuits. Often they do, and this is going to be appealed. But a jury in Los Angeles has ordered the NFL to pay more than $4.7 billion. They said the league violated antitrust laws with regard to distributing out-of-market Sunday afternoon games on their NFL ticket. The bottom line is this could cost each NFL team north of $400 and something million, almost $450 million. The NFL's going to appeal it. And so they cite the fact that, basically in all the market games, they're available free on television. And they're saying that the Sunday ticket violated some antitrust laws. And the league has maintained that it had the right to do this under its antitrust exemption for broadcasting. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this case. But yeah, that could change some NFL fortunes a little bit. I mean, even for the NFL, that's a lot of money.
I think they'll be all right.
You do? They'll be all right. Okay. I'm assuming that. I mean, I tried to read it and tried to understand it, and I think the biggest thing is the NFL is probably going to try to outlast all these people, and they'll lawyer them to death, and at the end of the day, it'll get dismissed. They're asking for the judgment to be set aside, so we'll see. There's people way smarter than any of us that can figure this out probably, and we'll settle this in somehow or another. The subscribers say that the league restricted competition by offering Sunday ticket only on a satellite provider. Yeah, that's because DirecTV paid for the right to do that. So, right? I mean, that's what they did. They paid for the right to do that, and they said that the package was inflated. Right, that's what happens when you're trying to buy something that you can't get. It becomes inflated.
Yeah.
Supply
and demand.
Right. Basic concept.
They had the supply, and they demanded you pay them a lot.
If you wanted to watch it. You didn't. Nobody held a gun to your head and said, if you didn't want to not watch, then your home market, then you shouldn't have left the home market that you were in. If you were a fan of that said team, go move there. I know that sounds a little ridiculous, but at any rate, I think, like you said, I think the NFL is going to be all right. Or as you said, all right. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
2024, here is Jeff McGuire with this day in sports history.
Going to start in 1939 because the Yankees and the A's are playing a doubleheader today. The Yankees would hit 13 home runs in the doubleheader, sweeping the A's 23-2 and 10-0.
Wow. Ball was going out.
For one team. 1957, Major League Baseball Commissioner Ford Frick overrules fan voting due to ballot stuffing in Cincinnati and names Stan Musial, Willie Mays, and Hank Aaron to the All-Star team. I don't know how I feel about this, because part of the All-Star game fan voting is stuffing the ballot.
Yeah, I think that was before. I think that was before stuffing the ballot was really, stuffing the ballot. But yes.
However, I also do fully believe, without looking at their stats for 1957, that Stan Musial, Willie Mays, and Hank Aaron should have been on the All-Star team.
You would think, right?
Like, that just feels like a no-brainer. 1975, reigning PGA Championship winner Lee Trevino and playing partners Jerry Hurd, Bobby Nichols, and Jim Ahern were all struck by lightning at the Western Open. They all suffered minor burns. I guess they didn't take Chuck's class on how to dodge lightning.
Did not. That was really before dodging lightning became conventional.
Oh, okay.
Standard training.
The technique hadn't been locked down yet.
Right.
Got it.
I loved watching Lee Trevino play golf. I mean, he was kind of every man's. At least that's the perception. Every man's kind of golfer. I mean, he had just kind of a little bit of an awkward swing, and he always had a smile on his face and very engaging.
Yeah, character.
Yeah.
1992, U.S. Dream Team beats Cuba in their first exhibition basketball game, 133-57. I'm surprised Cuba scored 57.
You think we're in trouble in terms of winning a gold medal?
I don't know. Are all these French guys that are getting drafted in the first round playing for France?
Right, yeah.
I had no idea they had so many talented basketball players. I don't think it'll be a complete blowout, but I would lean towards us as the favorite.
Okay.
2007, Craig Biggio of the Houston Astros becomes the 27th member of the 3,000 hit club, going 5 for 5 against the Colorado Rockies.
That's a great way to do that. I mean, you go 5 for 5 and then get to 3,000.
And in 2010, former Red Raider Josh Bard, now playing for the Mariners, goes 3 for 4 with a double in a 6-5 loss to the Chicago White Sox. It is National Tapioca Day.
Out.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Big, huge, enormous birthday today. Happy birthday, former Texas Tech baseball coach Larry Hayes turns 8-0 today.
Which is the coach's birthday?
I'm still coaching.
And he's still coaching. Which coach was it that you efforted to try to find a birthday that you finally got?
Wes Kitley.
Yeah,
That's what I thought, yeah.
Larry Hayes was up there.
Yeah, I thought so.
But Wes Kitley was the unicorn that
like
Gus had to help me with.
Still coaching it. Colorado Christian.
Tomorrow, happy birthday, former Texas Tech wide receiver Dylan Cantrell turns 30. And on Sunday,
Go White House.
Former Texas Tech basketball player Tariq Owens turns 29. So we got a nice 1, 2, 3 hitting of baseball, football, and basketball birthdays for the Red Raiders the next 3 days.
Yeah.
Back to today, proving that if you're funny, you'll live forever. Mel Brooks turns 98 today. Kathy Bates is 76. John Cusack, 58. John Elway, 64. Bradley Beal, 31. And Mark Grace is 60. And on this day, in 2007, one of the coolest things to have happen took place. The United States removes one of its most commonly used national symbols from the list of endangered and threatened wildlife. The delisting of the bald eagle, which was close to being vanished in North America around the middle of the 20th century, is one of the most notable wildlife rehabilitation efforts in American history. And that is this day in sports history.
All right, this day in sports history.
Generally, you go on that list, you only get off when we can't find you anymore, as opposed to going off the list because you're no longer endangered.
Right. You know, usually it's kind of one of those deals where when they put you there, it's like, probably not going to be around very much longer, and as a result, that's good. That's good that we've overcome that, right? We've done a better job of making sure that it could still be vibrant and reproduce and all those kinds of things. Okay, there you go. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Lee Trevino was struck by lightning twice. When asked what he'd do if he was playing golf again with lightning in the air, he said something to the effect of, "I'll grab my 1-iron because not even God can hit a 1-iron." I do remember that quote. This NFL Sunday ticket should be illegal. If you're already paying for any TV service, you should be able to choose what football game you want to watch. We should not be at the mercy of NFL's Sunday ticket. Well, it's not logical. We should not be forced to watch the games they are showing on the local market. Nobody's strapping you down to your lazy boy and putting duct tape around you and saying you will watch the Packers and the Buccaneers.
Chuck, on the phone, we have the lucky lady calling in.
What?
Saying that, no one's being forced to watch the NFL on every game on Sundays.
She's not forced. There's no hostage takeover of her. she's free to move about the house. We've got other TVs. There's plenty of places for her to go. By the way, just a little man helping man. The lucky lady sent me this alert last night. She wanted me to know that the Hallmark Channel's Christmas shows, Christmas in July shows, start today, actually before July, beginning at 10 o'clock this morning. So just know that your TV could be commandeered for Christmas in July Hallmark shows. You know, the guy comes back to the small town, goes into the, small, potpourri store, the flower store, the pet supply store, the Western wear store, and the, pretty girl in there, and he's coming through town, his car breaks down, mechanic can't get to it for a couple of days, and he falls in love, and then is going to leave, and then decides he can't leave, and her dad's sick and needs help with the farm, and next thing you know, they get engaged underneath the Christmas tree, and it's snowing, and then the horse and the carriage come by, and then the movie ends. It's pretty much it in a nutshell. I mean, you can sit down within about 5 minutes and predict those things.
Thanks.
Just wanted you to be. Be aware.
I think we've had this conversation before. I think we all know what the Hallmark movies are about.
Yeah, I just wanted. Yeah. We might have some new listeners that hadn't been exposed to that before.
I think you forgot the part where he's got a daughter from a marriage where she died.
Yeah, right.
Because he can't be divorced. She's got to be dead.
Right.
And the new girl likes the daughter, which is the only reason she puts up with the dad.
Right. There's that.
And that's how that connection happens.
Sure.
It's through the daughter.
Sure. Or she has a son, and he's struggling learning how to play baseball, and the new guy shows him how to throw a four-seam fastball or something. Teaches him how to hit, make a free throw, all those kinds of things.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. You'll hear the end of the bench at 9 this morning on 100.7 The Score. Bottom line at high noon. And then Tech Talk. The boys will be on from 3 until 5:30 today on Double T 97.3. Okay?
And they will be awesome.
They will be awesome. Okay.
We're making promises.
Okay. That we can keep?
Yeah.
Yeah. All the boys will be awesome today. Hopefully you're getting ready for a big weekend. I think it's cool that they do this. And this was announced yesterday. Former Texas Tech linebacker Brad Hastings is going to be inducted into the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, it's posthumously. He passed away in 2009. It's a 9-member class. They do one for each of the former Southwest Conference schools. This will take place August the 13th at the Texas Sports Hall of Fame Museum in Waco. And, I think obviously it's been quite some time since the Southwest Conference existed. But I'm glad that they've continued to do this and honor these athletes that participated in the Southwest Conference and have found a way to make it a significant deal for everybody.
Yeah, that's cool. No doubt. Congratulations to his family.
In addition to him, among the others going in, the only two names that I was familiar with, because there's a golfer from Texas. Her name seems somewhat familiar to me, Sherry Steinhauer. There's a tennis player from SMU. There's a track and field athlete from Rice. But the two names that stood out to me, Tony Franklin, remember him? He was a field goal kicker.
Oh yeah, for the Patriots.
Yeah, and I think the Eagles as well.
Okay.
He went to Texas A&M, and then this guy played on Nolan Richardson's national championship team for Arkansas, Oliver Miller.
The Big O.
Yeah, the Big O. He was
on that Phoenix Suns Western Conference championship team that lost to the Bulls in the finals.
Okay, and he was a big guy, Big guy. Mm-hmm. Let's see if I did not know this about Tony Franklin. He's from Big Spring. Okay. Went to Texas A&M. Let me see if I can tell you. He did play for the Eagles. I was thinking that. I was thinking he played for the Eagles. Okay. And he was a barefooted kicker. He had a 60-yard field goal. Those are the days they had, like, Steve Little and Russell Erksleben and Tony Franklin. They're all kicking these, 60-plus yard field goals, and back in the day. So, at any rate, so those guys will be going into the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame. We get this question from the Yates Flooring Center chat line with regard to football. What are the biggest questions heading into the upcoming season? Isn't it kind of what it always is? Offensive line, can you protect? Can you put pressure on the quarterback? Can you protect your quarterback? And what's the receiving group going to do?
You want to throw in there, can you kick too?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because I threw a lot of spaghetti against the wall there.
Yeah. I would say 1 and 2 for me are Baron Morton's health and can you get to the quarterback on defense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And can you keep him? Can you keep him healthy? I mean, what happens the first time he gets hit? And that's what you responded to this guy. Baron Morton's health. Can you get to the quarterback? Can you protect the quarterback? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty simple. You want to jot that down over there and take it over to the grease board there at Texas Tech football, the new grease board. Put it up there and for to JM from JL.
No, I do not.
Okay.
I trust that they've got things under control.
Okay. Mm-hmm. The JMs.
I surely wouldn't want to write on the new grease board.
He's probably not looking for any advice from us.
They didn't save the old one?
Jamie, if you're going to build a brand new facility, you got to have brand new stuff. New markers, new grease board, new. Did
they sell the old one to someone? Maybe that'd be pretty cool to have the grease board that all these tech coaches had rode on to draw up plays, and
they should have auctioned that off.
They should have raised some money.
This is the
could have bought a new quarterback or left tackle with that money or something.
This is the grease board that Mike Leach used or Cliff Kingsbury used. Now it's
paid for our 11th man on the end of the bench for the basketball team.
And it could be hanging in your basement with markers.
I would have liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, markers and everything.
I would have just had Coach McGuire autograph it and just leave it up there. And then I'm not drawing up any plays, so yeah, I wouldn't need it, but it'd be cool on my basement wall.
Be cool. I was watching a video of the South End Zone, the latest edition of the South End Zone project. I found this interesting, and he was a defensive guy, but it just kind of tells you how things have changed at Texas Tech. The Coach McGuire's office, I guess I think I have this right. When you're walking in and you're going north because you're facing north, the defensive coaches are on the right and the offensive coaches are on the left. And his office is on the defensive end of things. It's at the end of where the defense is.
You found that interesting?
Yeah, I found it interesting just because, with other coaches that we've had here, offense has been so much of the priority that you wondered sometimes if they knew that there was a defense.
It is a long walk from the
I have no idea.
Defensive side to the offensive side?
I don't know. I mean,
he's got to be on one side or the other, right?
Does, yeah.
Wouldn't have stood out more if he was on the offensive side?
I just thought it was interesting that his office is on the defensive side. I don't know if it just worked out that way, if it was planned that way. And then I kind of wonder about I had this thought yesterday when I drove by the stadium yesterday. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna drive by and see if the fence is still around the west side, which it is. Well, it looks like they've made some progress on fixing the facade over there on the west side because they still have chain link fence all the way around it, and they've got some molding problems apparently up there. I noticed how they kind of had protected the benches and things because I guess some stuff was falling off the side.
Chuck kind of sounds like the guy who, like, if you're an independent contractor and you're remodeling for him, or you're doing a new bathroom, and he kind of hovers over you, and what are we doing over there? Why is that like that? I mean, what kind of caulk are you going to use for that?
Not caulk, no.
What are we doing? Why are we doing that?
No, it's not.
The only difference is Chuck's not the one paying the bills here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm just asking. I'm just curious. I'm just a curious guy sometimes, and I had a couple minutes of time on my hand. I found myself at that end of town and that end of the stadium. Because the other thing I'm very curious about this, extremely curious about this. I love how the wrought iron fences look around the practice facility along University. I love how that looks. It's a spectacular look, and they still have chain link around the south end, around the back. And I'm assuming that they're going to put the wrought iron fence along that too, as they probably have to have that open in and out to be able to get stuff in. But I'm thinking, what's going to happen when practice starts? Are they going to cover those things up, or are we just going to be able to kind of all stand there and look? And maybe that's what they want. Create a little, energy for Texas Tech football on the sidewalk.
You remember in the movie Tooth Fairy that The Rock was able to pull this little dust out of a bag and just toss it on you, and whatever you had just seen, you completely forget. And so actually, if you notice up on the poles there's a little container, and so what will happen is after practice is over, it'll shoot that dust out of there.
Okay.
So whatever you saw, you will forget.
Oh, okay.
And so you won't know if Baron Morton was healthy or not, or who was the second string defensive back. What you'll know is you'll just be like, wow, I don't even know what I just saw.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, gentlemen. We are squarely in the middle of the transfer portal era.
Okay. Yes.
I don't know that we can say that we're in the middle, because I don't know if that would mean that at some point there's an end. So we're in it.
We're in the portal.
We are in the transfer portal era.
Yeah.
My question for you today is, of all the players that have left as transfer portal casualties from the Red Raiders, if they all had 1 year of eligibility remaining, okay, not grad transfers, not guys, before the transfer portal era, but if they all had 1 year of eligibility remaining in any sport, which guy that left via the transfer portal would you welcome back with open arms to come play for your team this year? Guy or girl, I guess, if you wanted to make it a women's basketball player or women's soccer player, whatever.
Or football or something like that, right?
The football would, yes, obviously fall in that category.
Okay, just make sure. Well, I'm trying to think of these people that have left, and I've got recency bias going through my
I mean, we just saw 3 of them that got drafted.
I know, and of the 3, I think the guy that I would want back would be T.J. Shannon. I just don't think I could welcome back Kevin McCullough. It felt like the Shannon deal was more legit to quit here than McCullough. And he didn't go to another conference school. There's
your biggest difference.
Yeah.
I think the reason for leaving was basically the same thing.
Yeah, probably so.
The big difference is that he didn't choose to go to conference school.
I guess the other, if I'm looking at it today, and he may not qualify, but Davis Webb would be a guy that I think I would have taken back.
I don't think he's a transfer portal guy. I think he's a grad transfer.
He was just a transfer, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think he necessarily qualified. The receiver that went to Washington would be a guy that I'd want back. He played in the national championship game.
Polk?
Yeah.
What was his first name? James?
No,
that doesn't sound right.
No, it doesn't sound right, but anyway, those are two names. Jeff?
I don't know if she counts, but I always
Jalen Polk.
Jalen Polk. Thank you.
Because she wasn't necessarily a transfer portal person, but definitely transferred out with still eligibility remaining, and for all of the right reasons that she left. I was never mad that she left, but Sydney Goodson for the Lady Raider basketball team. Not that she was the best player on the team when she was here, and I'm not even sure she'd be the best player on the team now, but she'd offer a set of leadership that would help this team and any team that you've had really since she left. I, again, completely understand why she left. There's no ill will feelings. In fact, I feel like we owe her one.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely do.
So, I mean,
there's a reason why she left.
Yeah, 100%. But I would welcome her back with open arms.
Yeah. Jamie?
I am going to go with a current player, as a matter of fact. I'm going to go with Donovan Smith. Man, I would love to feel better about, having two experienced quarterbacks. Just knowing how much we've had to deal with injuries. And, boy, if you had Donovan as your backup or third-string guy last year, how much better off would you have been in that BYU game? Or I just expect now that you're going to have an injury that's going to cause your quarterback to miss a start. And I sure would like to have an experienced guy making that start. So that would be the guy for me.
Yeah,
and plus, I really liked him and
I did too.
Understood his reasons for leaving and all that. I don't want to say I don't think he got a fair shake here. I don't want to say it that way, but it just felt like it was pretty given that after his transfer and all that Tyler Shuck was the guy and that they were attached and tied to that guy. And so I just feel like it was obvious for him he wasn't going to play here.
Yeah.
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 And that's part of the what Mason Molina could give you, and he would actually have a year of eligibility if he wanted to come back and transfer. What he would give you would be phenomenal, be exactly what you would need or what you would love to have. But the reason and the way he left makes me say, no, don't want you back. Okay. No way. But I feel different about Donovan Smith's situation. And just like you were talking about with the difference between McCullough and Shannon is that Shannon didn't go to Kansas, who we hate. Okay? He ended up going to Illinois. Now, he tried to go to Michigan, and I don't remember what the drama was about us blocking that somehow, or there was drama there. I think your Kansas guy, who was at Michigan at the time, was the one that was so vocal criticizing us. Your post there at Kansas.
The big guy?
Yeah, he was at Michigan. What's his name? I don't know. Hunter something.
Hunter, yeah. Is it Hunter Dreiling? No.
Yeah. Anyway, he was the one that was vocal criticizing us for not letting him go to Michigan.
Hunter Dickinson. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I it's my alma mater, so I don't hate him, but I hate that he went there, and I couldn't root for him last year in any form or fashion.
Well, it's good you didn't have to, because most of the time he pretended he was hurt.
Yeah, right. I don't think it really. His impact there was nothing compared to what his impact here was and could have been. That's what's really sad, is his legacy is not much. His legacy is here is ruined. His legacy up there is he's just another one of them.
I mean, from kind of what you hear, they dislike him more than we do. Because they all thought he could have played this year.
Yeah.
He was healthy enough to play this year and just didn't want to.
Yeah, I said, hey.
Wasn't feeling it. Just cashing the checks.
Yeah, just cashing the checks. Getting his free shoes and all that kind of stuff. And I think the Donovan Smith deal is, my guess is if you peeled back the onion, they would say to you over there, we gave him opportunities in practice. He couldn't take care of the football.
Yeah, okay. They gave him opportunities in games, and he didn't take care of the football.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not knocking.
Oh, I know you're not.
I'm not trying to.
Yeah, I know you're not, but I'm with you. I mean, I'd been great if he could have if he'd have stayed. Now, here's the deal.
It just felt to me like it was, once Tyler Shuck transferred here, that it was his job.
Mm-hmm.
And the coaching staff was going to do everything they could to support him and be behind him. And I don't know that I ever thought he was the best quarterback here.
And, did they, coaching staff, people over there, have the blinders on too much with regard to Tyler Shuck and give him too much? Kind of looks that way at the end of the day, doesn't it?
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to the Double T 97.3 mobile app for that. The Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. Okay, so time for who wore it best or the best. What were the results of number 6? We had Graham Harrell, Nehemiah Glover, Tim Tadlock, and Tracy Saul.
Graham Harrell took the top spot with 71.3% of the vote.
Mm-hmm.
Coming in at second was Tracy Saul with 13.1%, Tim Tadlock 11.9%, and then Nehemiah Glover with 3.7%.
Okay. Anything surprise you there?
No.
I think if you would have...
Doesn't mean I agree with it, but it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. I think the thing that... because I would have picked Graham. I would have DQ'd Tim Tadlock just because he's a coach, not a player. But I'm surprised because it's been so long since he played that Tracy Saul had slightly more votes than Tim Tadlock.
He's a great player. Great player. I've heard so many former Red Raiders talk about how great of a player he was, or Red Raiders that have, been around a while and watched him play.
It's just been a while since he played. That's why I'm saying it was just...
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised that he was number 2 on the list of everything. And I've seen plenty of highlights. Terrific defensive back. Really, really good, and really, really good return man as well.
And I really enjoyed watching Nehemiah Glover play. He was fun to watch catch the ball. Okay, so that's number 6. Now we're on to number 20, Jamie. And here's your choices. Bront Bird, Danny Amendola, Darvin Ham, Todrick Gocher.
I think this is a layup.
Slam dunk?
Danny Amendola.
Oh, okay. I thought you might go with the ham slam there.
We've had this conversation before. He had the dunk, and it was spectacular, but 8 points and 5 rebounds a game.
Right. No,
It's pretty... he was a good player for us and great guy. We all love him, but...
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that highlight is special in all of our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
But 8 points and 5 rebounds a game.
Yeah.
You're picking somebody off that team. Give me Jason Sasser.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
My vote would be Danny Amendola as well. Bront Bird's going to get some consideration. He ended up playing in the NFL, was a San Diego Charger for a while.
I also don't think we should underestimate Todrick Gocher here. He was a big part of your team getting back to the NCAA tournament after a very long drought. And we're talking about a guy that, still continues to come back and support the university. And Danny's probably going to win this, but I think Gocher's going to give him a run for his money.
So is your vote Amendola?
Plus he married a Red Raider athlete.
Yeah. So, it's like a Red Raider family there. And, already having kids together, putting more Red Raiders in the pipeline.
What did she do? Do you remember?
I thought track.
Was it track or volleyball?
Maybe volleyball. I don't remember.
Either way, that's a Red Raider family there.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a lot closer than what we've had in the last couple. But I think I would go... I think I'd go Danny, but this is like 60-40 for Gocher. This guy left here with not only 1 degree, but 2.
I think it's
That's
3.
what
is it
people
3?
are voting on.
I think it's.
Is it 3?
I think
I know he was working on his master's. I don't know that he finished his master's before he left.
Yeah, I think he got 2 undergrads and a master's, I don't think he got two. Might have gotten 2 masters and an undergrad. I think it was 2 masters and an undergrad that he got. And he's still playing. He's still playing Oradea, wherever they are. They're Romania. Okay. Oradea is a Romanian professional basketball club based in Oradea, Oradea. Okay. And the club competes in the league that is the highest level of basketball in Romania. Well, good for him. He was a Romanian Cup winner in 2022. We get this. Wow. Mrs. Gocher was a track/cross-country athlete. Okay. That's good.
I couldn't remember really.
I couldn't either.
I thought that was track, but I couldn't remember.
And if you'd asked me I wouldn't have been able to tell you that she was a tech athlete.
Yeah. Todrick was, I think, really loved by a lot of Red Raiders.
Yes.
Kind of a clutch guy, but just the personality was really good.
Yeah.
Obviously a good player too, but and felt like a guy that was all in on Texas Tech.
No doubt. I mean, he was...
gone are the days where we had basketball players that were all in on Texas Tech.
And he was here for 5 years, too.
5 years.
Yeah.
So let's celebrate one that was.
Oh, it doesn't mean that Danny Amendola wasn't all in on Texas Tech.
Yeah, I mean, he was
1,200-yard receiving season.
Yeah, I mean,
He's pretty good.
He was all in.
Yeah.
All in. So, all right. So, Danny, is that a kind of a consensus then for the three of us that Amendola is the best to wear number 20?
That's where my vote would go. Although, as of we sit right now, Darvin Hammond lead with 50% of the vote. So what do we know?
Where does
We're a highlight society. Everybody loves an adios muchacho.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the ham slam. I mean, that was pretty spectacular.
I'd rather have a 2-run single than a solo home run.
Okay, well, yeah.
The other one scored 2 runs. Yeah,
That
Exactly.
probably makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, would you rather have a 2-run single or a 500-foot blast?
2-run single.
2-run single.
And there's another guy on base that you could knock in.
The 500-foot blast is still just worth a run, right?
It's just one.
Yeah, it's just one.
Just one.
Would you? Here's something for
This
you.
is going to be good.
Here's something for you to consider. Would you like it if they put an extra line behind the wall that if you hit it over that, you got an extra run?
Yeah. Yes. And when they play the celebrity softball game on MTV, yes, I would like that.
I thought you would.
Yeah.
I thought you would. I thought you'd think that was, because then you could get a bang. There's a 2-run home run. Was that how that would work for Mr. Haxton?
I don't know.
I mean, you got to figure it would start like this. And that ball is hit well. That ball's got a chance. Adios, Mojo. That's how that would have to go. That would be, you got to build up to that kind of hit.
I don't know. I can run that by him and see what he thinks. If he would sign off on the 2-run shot for a single shot if it went 500 feet.
He is the guy that wants free throws outlawed in basketball. So
He does?
Yes.
Why?
He wants them taken out of the game because it's boring.
Because they're boring. I don't know. I kind of like the free throw, the drama of the free throw.
I'm a fan of the free throw. Yes, I think. I get Jeff's point. It's boring. I mean, when you have games where they send people to the free throw line a whole bunch, plus he doesn't get to yell "bang." There's a guns up free throw.
Right.
That's probably disappointing for a play-by-play man, right? You want some action.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if I was a basketball play-by-play man, it would give me a chance to breathe. Basketball guys, man, they're just nonstop going.
Yeah, it gives us a little chance to inject a little commentary there,
Yeah.
Free throw's good. Free throw's good there by blah, blah, blah.
think it gives you guys a chance to breathe a little bit.
8:25 this morning.
That's all we do in baseball is breathe.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.